Hey everyone, welcome to the Annie and Mindy show. And I'm Annie Kellis, all the way from Melbourne, Australia. And
I'm Mindy Stern, and I'm talking to you live from Israel. So we're on two sides of the world, coming to you direct, live, and ready to rock and roll.
yep. So, what should we talk about today? What box should we open today?
Good question. You mentioned before when we were talking about, why don't you tell the story? You were talking with someone yesterday, was it?
Yeah. So I was talking to a fellow trainer, and we were talking about how when we the way we teach, you, I, this person, and lots of other people, in our community, like we do a lot of experiential teaching, and they learn. So through whatever skill that we teach them, there's a lot of personal development. So he sort of said something about, because I don't know if I want to open that lid. And I sort of said, well, I go, you open that lid because that lid has been closed for so long.
The lid on Pandora's box.
You've got to open Pandora's box. He goes, yes, but if you open that lid, it's going to go and they won't know what to do with it. I said, they'll figure it out. I said, if there's something that you can teach them and they're going to come to you, for you because they think that you can help them, well, if you can, you will. And if not, then you might just need to go away and figure it out and come back. I said, you know this stuff. I said, you're doing it yourself. You've had so much growth yourself and you're constantly growing yourself. I said, I believe that as teachers, we are leaders, we are teachers, coaches, whatever we do, facilitators, but it's our duty to help other people open their lid.
Yeah.
Is it easy? No. Is it painful? Yes.
Could be.
But is it freeing? And I said to him, I go, the deeper we go with our own growth, like what happens is that we start to open up, capacity opens, then more and more and more. So it's like the onion. On the outside, it's very easy to peel. But when you get all the way, it's very tight. So are we. We are so tight on the inside. We're holding on to everything like that, right? However, and it's very hard to peel that next layer. And so that means in our terms, it's painful, right? However, if you have faith and you trust the process, which we do, the outcome, the win at the end, can't even put a word on it how amazing that is. So with that the freedom that comes within, capacity grows again. And he goes, well, when do you put the lid back on? I say, you never put the lid back on. You don't. There's no stopping. I said, are you stopping? He goes, no. I said, but the big difference here, or the thing to be aware of, it's not your responsibility for them to figure out whether they want to grow or not. You've just actually helped them discover that. And then it's up to them. Mm-hmm. Nobody told me, oh, well, you went to this course, it worked for you. Do you want to go do another one? No, I went, oh my God, this felt so good. I need to know more. But then what happened, because I put it out there, stuff came to me anyway, So I think it's for those people that are for those of us that are learning and are constantly growing, I think it's our duty. It's our duty to the community to give to others the same opportunities that we receive within our capacity, of course, or give them or recommend to them, well, why don't you go there? Why don't you do that?
Yeah. I think that in practical terms, most of the problems that people have in their life, me included, I'm a person, most of the things, the frustrations that we're having in our life is because we are keeping the lid on the Pandora's box. I think most of the struggle is to contain and control. And that when you open up Pandora's box, when you actually have to deal with, talk about, bring out those subjects that might be painful or uncomfortable or frustrating, when you start talking about them and processing them, that is when the freedom comes. So when you said, is it painful? I don't think that it's painful. I mean, it is painful, but it's not painful. There's more pain in containing it and controlling it and suppressing, your frustration, your hurt, your little voice. That takes so much effort that it makes us really tight. But actually, when you're brought to a point where you can talk about it, it's releasing. So it's not. I don't think I would call it painful. It's scary because you're not. These are things that you have consciously or subconsciously not wanted to deal with. How am I going to deal with that? Whenever I go to a personal development program, which it turns out that I go to business programs and they all turn out to be personal development in the end, because I'm clearing up, opening those Pandora box of what's scaring me, what's uncomfortable for me. Instead of hiding from it, I'm actually dealing with it in a safe environment. So when you come out, I come and I cry so much because I'm meeting myself. I always say to myself, where am I going to, and I get nervous, where am I going to meet myself now? Because you don't do it consciously. We don't suppress ourselves consciously. It just happens that things are uncomfortable or they're scary or we have little voice issues. So we contain, like you said, you contain them. But once you peel off, if I could use the same metaphor with the onion, once you peel off that layer and start to look at those things that are scaring you or suppressing you or uncomfortable for you or holding you back or you're uncertain of, all those things that make you feel like this, once you uncover that at Pandora's box, it's actually a release of energy. You're no longer tight and contained. It's really very freeing. So, and I agree with you. I think that it is, as trainers or coaches, it is our responsibility to create an environment, a context where our clients, our friends, our family members, anyone we're dealing with, feel safe enough for us to hold the space to allow people to open up their Pandora's box and to hold and support them while they're going through that, what we call perturbation. They're growing, they're becoming stronger because they're actually dealing with the shit, that is keeping them, or us, and it's never ending. No,
never. It never stops. And like, I don't know, how long have you been at it?
Personal development, I started in my 41 years old. So I was 13 years ago is I started to learn, just fell into an opportunity in my neighborhood. My kids were at the right age that I can go for a course in the evening and leave them alone for a couple of hours, because I'm a single mom. There's no one there to watch them. So I went to learn coaching. I didn't even know life coaching. I didn't even know what life coaching was. I had no idea. It was just like an opportunity to go take a course in the evening in my neighborhood, where I felt confident enough that my kids would be okay. That was it. I had no idea what life coaching was. And that was my first exposure really with personal development, because I worked in the business world, very rational, technical, money, business, commerce, marketing, sales. That was my space. And when I saw what happened to me, and that was the course, I think, for 6 months, once a week we went, the changes that I had made in that 6 months, the perspective I got, the Pandora's boxes that were opened during those 6 months, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. So like you said, I wanted more. So I signed up for the next course of master coaching. And then I wanted more because I was growing so much and getting perspective on how I wanted to live my life and becoming truer to myself, not what was expected of me or what I had fallen into or that's how things are done type of thing. More so what Mindy wanted to do. And then it just snowballs from there. I've been growing as a person. Like you say, what did you say? That I loved it. Expanding my capacity.
Yeah.
Always,
Yeah.
just always a little more, expanding my capacity, which takes courage, which does take courage. But I've been involved with people that are holding the space for me to be able to do it. And the most advanced is when I joined Blair Singer Training Academy, where I actually wanted to become a trainer. So technically, I wanted to be able to teach my trade, financial coaching to people, but it actually worked out to be more of a personal development journey than learning to teach my trade. So I teach my trade, but I'm such a bigger person. I'm such a more confident, more true to myself, my mission, whole type of person. That's my journey, like 13 years of, and it's not going to stop. It's not going to stop. I'm just waiting for my next program to go. It's, oh my God, how am I going to meet myself now? What's going to show up this time? Type of thing.
Well, there's so many facets to life, and you think you dealt with that and you're good, and then another aspect of you kicks in. You just go, really? Okay, because like now, the when the situation arises, it's like, oh, and then you go,
oh
yeah, okay, where am I gonna get out of this? Yay, let's do this. Okay, and I love it. So now, and I remember when I had that moment when that shifted. I was standing in my kitchen. I used to work in my kitchen, and I have this wall to ceiling, wall to wall window, and I had these trees outside, and between two trees, right, like this, is a hole. So the way the leaves and the branches are going, it's a hole. So I always look out there, and it's a blue sky. So I start talking to it. So, like, I believe in God and the universe. I believe in everything. So something's out there. And then I go, so I had a broken heart. And I was sitting there going, again? Why do I have to go through this? I mean, like, seriously, are you going to give me a break? Like, what? I have studied for so long, and I've felt pain for so long, and I've overcome the pain and all that. And, like, enough. Like, do I have to go through this again? And then I go, okay, you don't need to answer. Of course I do.
Until you learn the lesson.
I go, yeah. Every failure, mistake, heartbreak, blah, blah, blah. I survived every single one of them. And I learned and grew and became a better person. Talking about realizing what gratitude really is and being able to understand how to turn things around, because, like, there's that law of duality that everything has two sides, but it's of the same. Like a coin, it has two sides, but still belongs to the coin.
Right.
So we have two sides. We have our good, we have our angel, and the devil. It's still within the same person. So I just went, either this big cloink penny drop, it wasn't just a penny, it was like this, whatever this big penny was. And I went, oh my God. And ever since then, when I'm hurting, I kind of yeah, of course I have to. Okay, let's figure out. Okay. So, and then, I've got a lot of my friends are coaches, right? And some of them are niching like you are a marketing coach and a financial coach. So I go, okay, I'll go to Mindy. then I go to Linda for something else. I can't remember what I go for. She's doing a few communication, I think, language. Then I go to Jane for clearing. Then I go to Teresa for my inner child work. So I sit there and I go, okay, so which category does this situation fall into? And then I go, okay, let me call so-and-so, let me call so-and-so. And then I go, okay, I want to know why this is happening. I want to deal with this. I want to remove it. da 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 da.
Yeah.
And then clearly, because I have so many coaches around me, they all give me different tools. So I've got tools on YouTube. Like I use this guy called Brad Yates who does tapping. So he's got like this channel. Yeah. So so when I felt abandoned, I think I went and I'm in a bed going, oh, I feel rejected and abandoned, really feeling sorry for myself. I said, I don't know, I'm in so much pain. Okay, well, at 11:30 at night, you don't really call anybody, right? So I go, okay, let me see what Brad is doing. So I go, Brad Yates, rejection. So his video comes up, so I start tapping. Now, I can tell you, within 5.5 minutes, I was laughing.
Wow, that's amazing.
Because how he was using his language, right? What he was saying, first he was doing the sorry thing. So yeah, the world is out to get you. Yeah, the world is out to get me, I'm like this, and I'm like that, and all of this. And you start to see the stupidity of your thoughts.
Yeah.
Or stupidity, but the ridiculousness of your thoughts. And you go, oh yeah, okay. And you already start giggling. And then he moves it into, I love, despite everything, I love myself, I'm worthy, this and that. So by the end I go, oh, I'm good. And I went to sleep.
Wow, nice.
There is so much out there that can help an individual if they really want it. For some things you pay, but the people that you pay, they armed with so much knowledge and so many tools, and they just go, hey, when you're not with me, you can do this.
Absolutely.
Cost you nothing. Well, cost you the internet, but really it costs you nothing, right? So it's like, there's a lot of people out there who are willing to help.
Willing to help. If you're willing to open the Pandora's box, and I would have never come to where I am with money if I didn't have to deal at some point, way back when I started learning about coaching, I had to deal with my money issue. I was insolvent. I was struggling, I had debt. It was horrible. My situation was horrible. And, and I'm keeping it in because I didn't know what to do. So instead of communicating, what am I doing? And struggling and frustration until I was brought to a situation where the Pandora's box, I was lucky. The Pandora's box was opened. I didn't decide to open it. It was opened. Pandora, the energy came out, so I had to take care of it. And that changed my life. That changed who I am. That changed my profession. I learned to do something new that meant so much to me that's who I am today. For the last 10 years, I've been working, helping people with money because my Pandora's box opened. I found my calling. Just wanted to say with the tapping, do I have it here? No, I must have a digital copy. But you talked about the tapping, the tapping, all that. Yeah. It's I got exposed to it because it's a really great book about money, about wealth, tapping into wealth by Margaret. I forgot her last name.
Yes, I think I bought the book.
Tapping into Wealth.
Maybe I was supposed to buy the book.
So I will put it in the comments. But if you don't know what tapping is, and you're interested in learning what tapping is, and you're interested also in your wealth, your money story, there's a great book called Tapping into Your Wealth. So I'll put the link up there.
And I also
introduced to what tapping is because I talk about wealth. I'm learning all the time about wealth management, money management. So I've probably read all the books that there are, because when you want to teach something, first, when you want to do it on yourself, become an expert. We were talking about this earlier. I want to become an expert for myself to learn all the tools that I can use. And then once I learn them and they work for me, then I have an ability to help other people when their Pandora's box opens, or to help them open it, to give them the right tools to move forward. There's lots of strategies. Like you said, there's lots of strategies out there. This is a really good one as well.
Yeah. Well, with the, I'm not also going to put in a comment, I'm going to put Brad in there. Because what, the other day I took a common friend of ours through it. She was having a challenge Sunday night. And I said to her, have you heard of tapping? And I sort of went like this. She goes, I think so. I said, have you ever done it? She goes, no. I said, okay, let's share the screen. We shared the screen. I went into Brad. Oh no, I got her to go into Brad and found the right one, and we tapped it out.
Nice.
And it worked.
It's
and
great.
It worked.
It's
So
so amazing. There's things out there that, I mean, I'm sure that there's a scientific explanation about how and why it works, but I don't even go there. You know, I don't even go there. Let's try, see what it does on me. And if it speaks to me, helps me, then I'm going to do it again. And I don't care about this. At one point in my life, I would have cared about the science. No, that's bullshit. That can't work. What do you mean? How does that work? You know, that's a mind game. I don't care.
yeah.
Placebo effect. We spoke about that also. The placebos. If it works, you know, why criticize? Why judge? Why put a label on it? It works. Do it. You know. So
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah. So I don't know whether I bought it. I have to have a look. I have so many books, and it's interesting because I'm not a reader. I'm not. You know, because I'm a visual person, I'm an experiential learner, I want to learn through doing. But the interesting thing is, I've heard before that you don't need to read a book from beginning to end, you just let it open.
Really?
And usually wherever you open it, it's the right information for you. So I have been doing that, and seriously, always. So how's this? When I used to train with Mac, so I'm sitting there and I'm doing push-ups, right? So I've got this little cabinet that at the bottom it's empty and I have books in there. So I'm doing these push-ups and I'm looking at the titles of the books because I need to get my mind off the pain of the push-ups. So I'm doing there and I'm looking at this one book that says altitude is attitude, or attitude is altitude. Jesus, which one is it? Attitude. Oh, attitude is altitude. And I'm looking at it going, absolutely. If you have the right attitude, you will go high in whatever you want because you have the right attitude. I don't need to read the book.
Got it.
I sort of pulled it out after the class and I had a bit of a read on the back and I go, no, it's all right. I don't need to read it. So I've got this book. I don't know how I got the book, where I got the book from, no idea. Did I buy it? Did I get it as a gift? I don't know.
Yeah.
But it's just there.
Well, that's a great idea. You know, if you have hard copies of books, you know, real books, you should really take the time every day, take a book off the shelf, read a couple of pages, see what comes up for you. The problem is that when you have it on Kindle, which I have, most of my books today are on Kindle, including that one, Tapping into the Wealth. I can't just open it up, you know, I can't just spur the moment. Oh, what's this? Open it up and check it out so I can read them.
I've got Audibles. I invested in Audibles and I actually got some books. So it's about $14.95 a month and I get a credit. Right now, most books are much more expensive than that. So $14.95 is not bad. So I actually did buy some books, like Rich Dad Poor Dad. I've got the hard copy, but I also got the Audible. And I tell you what, I like the Audible more.
Yeah.
Because I'm so present to the guy talking, and the way his tonality is flowing, I'm going, oh. And I remember I read through that chapter like 5 times, you know, because I'm going, what? So it's really interesting, but it's good to have both.
Yeah, I have a lot of both because it's also good for me. I work so much on the computer that my eyes get tired. So I can put the audio in and I don't have to be looking at I don't have to be reading, rest my eyes a little bit and listen. And also it's a trick because I have time for me is very important. We all have 24 hours in the day, but I want to use them effectively. And I read a lot, and I read a lot for pleasure and for my learning, you know, for my business or the courses I'm doing or personal development or money. I read a lot. So I like to get the audio books because I make this, I bump up the speed. I listen to them at 1.5 times. So it goes faster. Also, when I do a video, if I'm watching a video, a training video on YouTube, I also speed up the time, not in a way that I can't understand it, but a way that I can understand it, but it just goes faster. So the audio will be faster than I can read myself.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, so
I'm going to write it down.
You absorb a lot more, you learn a lot more in less time. That's a trick I learned from one of the, I'm in a group called, what's it called? Today it's called No Bullshit Inner Circle. It's Dan Kennedy. It's a tribe of Dan Kennedy marketing business. You know, I've been involved with them for quite a few years. And one of the mentors in that group of, it used to be called the Glazer Kennedy Inner Circle. Now it's No BS Inner Circle. And one of the mentors told me about that. They're all, you know, most successful people in the world, and you learn this also when you read Hal Elrod's book on Miracle Morning. When he interviewed people, he discovered the lives of people who were ultra successful, not just successful, but ultra successful, and found that they all have morning routines. And one of the routines that the ultra successful people have in general is that they read a lot. Read a lot. So if you want to become, first you emulate, you model what you want to become. So one of the things that you can model, put into your life today already, is reading a lot, whether it's through an audio book or a physical book or a Kindle, whatever it is. The reading is a really key, learning through reading is a really key component, I think that's the word, of success.
All right. So then I need to get reading.
Yeah.
Because I have some really good books. You know, it's really interesting. I was doing my tax and I asked the accountant, I said, so can I claim books for my business? He said, are they business books? Yeah. He goes, you buy no other books? I go, no. All I've been buying for years is personal development books or business books, or there's so much interesting stuff out there. You know, like tribal leadership, for example, right?
Yeah.
Such an interesting concept. And I was captivated. You know, biographies.
Yeah.
Biographies. But in particular, not autobiographies of, you know, actors or anything like that. But there are actors, you know, like I just bought Ellen DeGeneres' book and I flicked through it. Oh my God, the content is amazing. She has tools in there on how to deal with this, how to deal with that. She's got strategies. It's not just an autobiography, you know, and where I find some people would only be interested in her sexuality or anything like that, stuff like that, right? Which is fine if that's their gig, if that's what they're interested in. But it's so surprising when you flick through, you look at a book and you go, oh, okay, I'm going to buy this book now because there's all this stuff in there, really good stuff.
Yeah.
So, but normally I have, oh my God, I have so many, and I've got a lot of relationship books.
Because that's your thing. That's your thing. That's my Pandora's box that's still closed. So one day it's gonna open up. But that's pretty much it. The rest of it's pretty much opened up. A Pandora's box is tightly shut.
Maybe I should take you through the Accra methodology.
You know, maybe you should. But the student has to be ready. The student has to be
absolutely. Ready. Because I'm going through your methodologies. Maybe you should go through my methodology. And I reckon you're gonna have some well, there's half of the program you probably would know anyway. No, you know the whole program because you helped me design it. That's funny. That's funny.
But I have to go through it myself. So Annie, with that, Pandora's box still being shut, I think that's it for today. We'll have to leave something for next week as well.
That's interesting. She's shutting Pandora's box right now. That's funny.
Yeah, at least I'm putting it out there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, we need to go on a cruise, you and I.
Not to Japan today.
Not anywhere right now, but
Yeah.
Oh, I have to say something funny. Today I saw this post on Facebook, not in Marketplace. This person was selling a container of 8 toilet papers for $150.
What?
Yep. Because the word went out in the media, stock up on toilet paper because we're not going to have any toilet paper.
Well, because all the toilet paper is made in China?
I presume, I don't know, I don't watch the news, so I have no idea.
That's what my mother told me. She said she had stuck up also on dog food.
Oh my God, it's so funny. So this person bought a packet of 8, and he had a photo, and next to the photo he had these bug sprays. So he said, he goes, 3-ply 8 toilet papers for sale. The bug spray is not included. As I'm going, this is a gag. It must be a gag. And I would just go, don't tell me somebody is gonna buy.
Yo, that's so funny.
$150.
Hysterics. Everyone's crazy
It
right
is
now.
so funny. That's so funny.
Well, so anyway. I'm just gonna say, stay healthy, stay healthy, stay healthy, stay healthy, stay healthy, stay healthy. Everybody, just stay healthy and continue to enjoy life.
Absolutely. Well, till next week. See ya.
See ya. Love ya.
Bye. Bye.